unfortunately had a fatal disease. The doctor told her that she had only 1 month left to live. Georgia desperately looked to her boss to resign. But now suddenly the phone rings. Georgia wants her boss to turn off the phone, but he doesn't mind, and answer the phone. After that, he kept mocking her. What is the matter? Nothing. The boss Rose then said he would deduct her salary, and then he came back to play music. Georgia was extremely angry. She directly split the CD. When he learned that Georgia wanted to resign, he quickly stopped her, because she was the company's talent. He even agreed to double the salary to keep her. As a result, he only received a round of insults from Georgia. Then Georgia went to the bank to withdraw all the money she had deposited. The bank manager curiously asked her what she was using so much money for. I want to spend all that money. Georgia alone boarded a plane going to the tourist destination. But when the plane took off, a fat rude guy kept getting in her place, making her extremely dissatisfied. Then Georgia called the flight attendant to report that the seats were too tight, but the flight attendant did not care about her. Why don't you choose business class for a larger space? How much? Georgia must enjoy the end of life happily. The flight attendant pushed the hot roast chicken to her, and the waiter also poured her wine. Georgia finally understands how happy the rich are. After getting off the plane, the taxi caller lined up. Georgia thinks that calling a taxi is a bit of a hassle, so she directly hired a helicopter to go to the hotel. Everybody down here is guessing what Georgia's high status is in, because up until that point only the president would have done this kind of thing. Arriving at the hotel, the front desk told Georgia the hotel had only presidential rooms available for a fee of $20,000 a day. Georgia, without hesitation, immediately agreed. The waiter took her to the room enthusiastically. After he was done, she took the money out of her pocket and gave it to the waiter, but he returned it to her. Georgia, holding money in hand, watching the waiter leave. When she turned her head toward the window, her gaze suddenly lit up. What kind of world am I in? Do you know how the rich will order? It's very simple. No butter, no fat, no rice and dumplings. Even a Michelin chef looking at the order is a headache. Over the years, people created many kinds of food just to eat vegetables. At this point, a special order was brought in. There are no additional requirements on the order, but each dish is also the chef's forte. This is the real guest. Very quickly the food was brought up. The chef also followed up. He wanted to meet the person who ordered the food. This surprised all the guests there. Who is this woman in the end? She stayed in the most luxurious hotel, and in the presidential room. Even the dresses she wore were limited edition versions that could not be bought by anyone else. Some people say she is a rich woman, while others say she is powerful. Georgia has successfully attracted the congressman's attention. Seeing her soaking up, he went over to say hello. Georgia told him she was just an ordinary person. The congressman laughed because he thought Georgia was just joking. This scene was seen by the rich man. The more he asserted that Georgia's identity was not simple. The next day the rich man went skiing. While he was having a good time, Georgia passed like a bolt of lightning. He thought she was challenging him, so he chased after. But unexpectedly Georgia could not ski. In a panic, she hugged the rich man tightly. Then Georgia pushed him to the ground and rushed away. He stood up extremely angry and risked his life chasing Georgia. But he did not notice that the front was a forest. They rushed inside, the road getting tougher. Georgia rushed into the air and landed at a table. But the rich man are not so lucky. Under the eyes of many people, the rich man lost his face. Because in order to regain his face, he asked Georgia to play more fierce. The next morning, the two of them went skydiving together. Georgia looked down and felt extremely high. The coach deliberately threatened them to play this game might lose their lives. Georgia was a bit scared, but she thought she was going to die. Then what else was she afraid of? Georgia didn't say a word and jumped down. She carefully controlled the direction and landed safely. Now it's the rich man's turn. Jump. I don't want. This woman is about to die. She brings the money to the casino to spend it all. As a result, she was so lucky that she won $3 million. At the same time, the butler discovered the letter of Georgia. She learned what Georgia went through. Turns out she was just a small salesman with extremely low salaries. Her 1-year salary is less than $30,000. Normally when shopping, Georgia will prepare all kinds of coupons. She did not care about the employees' strange gazes at her, because there is a future with all kinds of worries waiting for her. But she received news that she had a terminal illness. When Georgia returned to the hotel, the butler told her everything. But Georgia was not angry at all. Moreover, she breathed a sigh of relief, because there's finally someone who can say honest words to her. But by this time the rich man knew about Georgia's identity. He announced it to everyone at the party. Georgia told him she never wanted to fool anyone, because she was going to die anyway. She came here, just because she wanted to spend all the money. After hearing this news, everyone was silent. Don't be sad for me. In my whole life I never thought of going to high-class places, doing such luxurious things. After saying that, Georgia turned to leave, leaving only the rich man embarrassed. Someone even scolded him for being a bastard before leaving. Even his best friend ignored him. The rich man is extremely sad. He never wanted to do bad things. It was just that he was used to stubbornness, so he hurt someone. That evening, after getting drunk, he climbed up to the top floor. Georgia, after hearing the news, didn't say anything and climbed to sit next to him. The rich man told her all his life, that he was always flashy, now found that the only thing left was cool bills. Georgia told him for the remainder of her life she'd stayed at the most expensive hotel, learned how to ski, skydive, and win a lifetime of money. But she never confessed to the person she loved the most. At this moment, a voice called Georgia rang out. Finally the man arrived. He climbed up to the top floor and took all the courage to confess to Georgia. No matter what happens in the future, I still want to be with you. Then the butler also ran to say that Georgia was not sick. The doctor made a false diagnosis. Georgia was extremely happy. Under everyone's encouragement, they kissed. Everyone can see themselves through Georgia. She was made difficult by her superiors, but did not dare to resign. Every day she meets the person she likes, but doesn't dare confess her love. She does not want to live like that, but does not dare to do anything to improve her life. If you're still confused with your life, I believe this movie will give you the answer. Time is always passing. People will get old too. Just do what you want. Just meet the person you love.